Barely 24 hours after the nationwide rally held by the organized labor union, President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated an advisory technical committee on the proposed 30,000 naira new minimum wage. The committee, which will be headed by economist Bismarck Rouhani, was inaugurated by the president before the commencement of the Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Adeshawa Dushoga has the rest of the story.
In the past 5 months, the Nigerian government has been having a running battle with labor unions over the implementation of a new minimum wage. The battle began in September when labor leaders held a nationwide protest, which culminated in a brief strike action over the failure of the government to implement a wage structure which was last reviewed in 2011. There were further protests and other strike actions in October and November before a 30,000 agreement was reached by the tripartite committee set up by the government on November 6, 2018. That agreement was submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari on November 7, but until January, the president had yet to do anything on the proposal. That is now changed as President Buhari has called this meeting to set up a committee to review the 30,000 agreement. The president begins by using the occasion to dispel suggestions that he is not committed to reviewing the minimum wage.
We are currently working on the final series of steps leading to the submission of a national minimum wage amendment bill to the National Assembly. I want to make it clear that there is no question about whether the national minimum wage will be reviewed afterwards. I am committed to a review of the minimum wage.
He, however, notes that there will be some challenges implementing the wage.
We anticipate that after the new minimum wage has been passed into law, we will be going into negotiations for salary review for all those who are already earning above the new minimum wage. It is therefore important that we are properly prepared to meet these demands. We must therefore look at ways of implementing these consequential wage adjustments in a manner that does not have serious adverse effects on our national development plans as laid out in the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. The Economic Recovery and Growth Plan sets appropriate targets for levels of capital expenditure, public debt, inflation, employment, etc. It is absolutely important that the implementation of a new minimum wage does not adversely affect these targets and thereby erode the envisaged gains for the workers.
Another challenge facing the implementation of a new minimum wage is the cooperation of the state governors. The governors say they cannot pay more than 22,500, and that has created some disagreement. Buhari insists they must be carried along to ensure a proper implementation of the new wage.
It is important to explain that even though the subject of a national minimum wage is in the exclusive legislative list, we have been meeting with the state governors because it is imperative that the federal government carries along the state governments in determining any upward review of the minimum wage for workers. This is essentially necessary considering the prevailing public sector revenue challenges, which have made it extremely difficult for some of the governments to pay workers as and when due.
The committee is expected to develop and advise government on how to successfully bring about a smooth implementation of impending wage increases. It will identify new revenue sources and also propose a work plan and modalities for the implementation of the salary increases. It has 1 month to submit its report. Adeshawa Dushoga, TV 360, Nigeria.